Good evening. Good evening. I'm Dr. Cassandra Washington, and welcome to Life Enhancement and Development Podcast. It is so wonderful to have you all with us this evening. I have a great conversation in store for you. But before we get started, I want to make a quick announcement. If you have a dream and vision for a business, but you just don't know where to start, if you're ready to build a legacy for your family and to be economically productive in your community, if you're ready to take control of your life and to create financial freedom, but you need help to get your idea out of your head and into manifestation, then I want to encourage you to seize the opportunity to bring your vision into manifestation by attending our Lunch and Soar Small Business Workshop this coming Saturday, March 9th from 10 a.m. to 12 o'clock noon. Registration is available at growwithlead.com, and I want to encourage you to register now and let's make your dream a reality. Miss April Cole will be our presenter for the Small Business Workshop, and she is here with me this evening to share her skills, her knowledge, and some of her experiences to help you become motivated and to take that step to launch your dream and to launch your vision. She is here with me this evening, and she's going to share some insight, and I want you to meet her so that you can get an idea of what you receive and be in store for this Saturday at our Small Business Workshop Lunch and Soar. So I'm going to bring Miss April on. Hi, April. I'm going
Hello.
to yes, allow you to greet everyone. And I'm so glad that you have agreed to join me this evening. I know that you were very busy, but I appreciate your taking the time out to talk with me on this evening. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it because I want the people to be able to hear from you and to see who you are and to know who you are. I think you're one of the Delta's best kept secrets. And so I want the people to get a chance to know you. So April is the chief financial officer, and she is the project estimator for H&A Painting LLC. So April, just tell us, what does H&A stand for, and what kind of work does the company do?
Well, H&A is named after my parents, Herman and Amanda Cole, and we are commercial contractors. We're paint contractors. We're commercial and residential paint contractors, and we're licensed with the state Mississippi State Board of Contractors.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I do know that H&A Painting is doing great things in the area where they serve, and it is an awesome organization and company and provides so many opportunities to people in the area. So, April, we're talking about manifesting the vision, and I've talked to some of the people in the area and some of the people who are going to be attending the workshop Saturday, and they were saying, I don't know what my purpose is, and I'm trying to figure out, but I know there's more and I want something better. So I want to ask you, when did you know you had a gift for leadership? And tell us a little bit about your background and how you prepared yourself for leadership.
Well, I knew when I graduated high school in 1999, I graduated from Gentry High School. I went to Mississippi Valley State, and then I began to take on my business administration degree. At that time, I was just like every other average kid. I needed money, I had to work. So therefore, I had to go to McDonald's and I had to get a job so that I could have my lunch money and my gas money. When I went to McDonald's, I wanted to capitalize on my time there. I met a lot of great people that was in leadership. I was only 19 years old, and they told me I met a young lady. She said, "April, you don't have to be the cashier. You can be the store manager." And I said, "Well, I want to look into that because I don't want to be the person that someone is telling to do something. I want to be that person that's giving that lead, that's exemplifying that leadership." So at that time, in 6 months, I went through an intensive training program with McDonald's and Hamburger University. And at that time, I became a store manager. I was actually one of their youngest store manager back then. And so that gave me a push. Unfortunately, I was working so hard, I let school go at that time, but I did go back to complete my degree at Mississippi Valley State University.
That's awesome. April, you so at 19, you started at McDonald's at age 19
Yes, ma'am.
and you work your way up to leadership.
Yes, ma'am.
How old were you when you went back to school at Mississippi Valley State?
When I went back to Mississippi Valley State, I was about 30 at that time. And I had worked at different restaurants, different things. I was selling insurance. I was just trying anything and everything to make ends meet. And at that time, I was positioned at when I went back to Mississippi Valley State, I was working at Capricorn's Internet Cafe, which was located right there in Itabena, right across from Mississippi Valley State. So
Yeah.
every day I was seeing people, they were the patrons that were coming over and they was coming, they was like, "You really need to complete your degree." And so I was surrounded by a lot of people that was pushing education. So at that time I said, "I'm going to do it." And I went back and I did complete my degree. And I also entered the master's field, but I did not complete it. And I still, that's something that I want to do in the future.
That's awesome, April. And the reason I wanted you to, to indicate how old you were, because a lot of times when we think that when we don't pursue things right out of high school or go right into college or whatever, that it can't happen and it's over, but it's not over. 30
No,
is not old, but 30 is not 20. So it took some motivation, it took some grit to be able to say, hey, I'm going to do this. And it's good that you had the encouragement around you to push forward, to move forward, to excel and to do more. And I just think that's awesome. So as the chief financial officer and program estimator at H&A Painting, what are some of your responsibilities and duties?
well, a lot of people, they don't understand small businesses. We have titles, but just because we have a title, it's stretched from one end to the other end. My responsibility as chief financial officer is pretty much strategic planning, financial budgeting, looking out, making sure that we have a future and that we can outstand and withhold in this business. One thing I do as a a project estimator. I'm the first person to see the bids. I'm looking at the projects. I'm the one who's just relaying the information to our superintendents and to the CEO. I have to go in, I have to prepare a takeoff. I have to know everything that we're going to need on this future project that we're trying to get. So therefore, I'm reading plans and I'm doing a lot of math actually because I'm looking at square footage of walls, square footage of floors, whatever scope of work that we do, I have to go in and take that off and I hand that over to my father. And then we go into an intensive bidding process. We're trying to be that lowest bidder and trying to make sure that we can do these jobs and still, not go under.
I think that's awesome because what I'm hearing you saying, what that says to me, that you have to have a diverse skills that
Yes,
spread over, different industries and different genres, different types of businesses. Because not only do you have to have the skill in math, you also have to have the skill to negotiate.
yes,
You have to have the ability to negotiate, to be able to, and at the same time look out for your best interest, but also the best interest of the client that you are trying to gain and to bring on, to be able to serve. And I may have been the one who said program, but you are a
project, yes,
project
project estimator, yes,
project estimator. So that requires you to have several skills, different types of skills, and that is wonderful because then that allows you to be able to do several things, many things. So when when I think about that, when did you realize that you had to go beyond just the business? Because you said you majored in business at Mississippi Valley State, but being a project estimator, that requires more than just business knowledge, what they teach you in getting a business degree. So that means you also had to go and get some kind of knowledge in architectural designing and to be able to do that kind of work. So when did you know you had to go beyond just the business skills and the business degree, and how did you overcome that, maybe that feeling that I got to come out of my comfort zone? Now I have to learn something that I don't know. How did you move into that? How did you motivate yourself?
Well, it was about 4 years ago. We were looking for a project estimator. We need an in-house project estimator. We were outsourcing that, but it becoming very expensive to do that. And then we couldn't bid on as many projects that we wanted to. So my father, he had opened up the conversation. He asked my brother, he asked some more family members, and then no one wanted to do it. And here's April trying to save the day. And I said, I'll give it a try. So I went to MDCC. I took on the courses for drafting and design technology. And I learned so much more. It's like that's where I was needed. I needed to be in that seat to learn because it taught me the commercial side of the business. It taught me the construction side of the business. I always knew the business side, but I was never familiar with the construction side. So that gave me that opportunity. And I was around great people again. God always positioned me to be around people that I was able to learn from. And so I was around great people. And when I left there, the day after I did my first job. I did the takeoff of my first job by myself. So I was there to learn and I was open-minded and I never try to get comfortable in
Mhm.
anything. And by saying, meaning what I'm trying to say is, I always try to grow because I just want to be on the top. I'm always setting goals. So therefore, I never got comfortable in any position that I ever had. I've always stretched myself thin to learn more and to do more.
That's awesome. And just hearing you talk, because you could, and it's almost seemed like you were pushed into it. It's like God was saying, "Go this way. This is the way, that I want you to go." And many times we don't, we have to go with the flow because we have one plan in our mind. And I heard you say, you started out at McDonald's.
Yes,
No, you started at McDonald's and then you also worked at Capricorn Corn. And I believe Capricorn is a restaurant, it's food and service as well. So here you are now, you are a chief financial officer and you are a project estimator. So you had to learn about construction, you had to learn about contractual works, how to do contracts, how to bid for contracts. And it just took you, God is just expanding your abilities and your skills. So you were working, you were working in food services, and then you came and start helping your family. So why did you decide to just fully jump into the family business and take on this leadership role?
throughout my entire life, ever since I was 19, about 20, in 2000, my father started Cole's Painting Service. I always helped, but it was never full time. I was doing payroll at that time. I taught myself QuickBooks, and I was helping doing payroll and taking care of some of the taxes and things like that for the business. Working hard and going places, I was just not successful everywhere else I went, and we hit a hard spot as a family. Cold paint service closed down, and my father said we just got to try something different, and we got to move different. And he just began to give us that vision, show us that vision, and he spoke the vision. And he said, "God just have great things for us, but you got to think different, April." And I was trying to do so much more, that I just had to focus on H&A painting. In 2015, everything was going bad. It was a bad year. We had bad credit, bad everything. And my father said, I need you to go and take these tests down at the Mississippi State Board of Contractors. It was the CRN, which is a certificate of responsibility number. And once you get that number, you're licensed and you can bid on bigger projects, and you have way more opportunity than people that don't have those licenses. So at that time, my father and my parents, they invested in me. They encouraged me. It's something that I didn't want to do because I didn't want to be right up under them and around them working. I wanted to work elsewhere and be around other people. But then I found out that I needed to do this for my family. I had to go take that test. I took the test. I took it several times. I failed. At that time, I had to teach myself the commercial side of painting. I knew the business side. The test requires you to have a business exam and you have to have the skill exam. Fortunately, after my third time, we passed and we were so excited. And I was excited. And then everything changed. 2017 contracts began to roll in. The workers began, my brothers, excuse me, they came back home. My younger brother, he was still in high school. He worked for the company. My other brothers that were in Gulfport, Mississippi, they came home and began to work back with the company. And we as a family, as a unit, just pulled together and decided that we're not going to accept poverty. We're not going to accept the bottom. We're headed for the top, and nothing is going to stop us as a family.
April, I'm just loving it because I'm sitting here listening to you and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to, just listening to you. Your father said, great job. I know he is so proud. That's right. And Samantha Jackson Milton said, look at God. And Amanda Hendricks Cole said, hallelujah. Girl, I'm just listening to you. And that is just so motivating, empowering. And it gives me a whole new perspective of you because the times that I met you, April, you're quiet, you don't say a lot, but you are a person who really has tenacity and you have a spirit of not quitting. And that is something when you talked about how the company went through a hard time, a trial, you didn't give up, and everybody pulled together. And it's so amazing. And it's wonderful to see how everybody plays their role and how you played such a great role and stepped up and took on that leadership role to help your family business get to the place of prosperity that it is today. And so you worked as a contractor, you worked as a manager in food services, you worked as a consultant. Which industry, April, do you find to be more challenging? Do you find the food service industry to be more challenging, the construction and contractual industry? Which do you find to be more challenging?
I find, and this is my opinion, I find the food service industry to be the most challenging. My hat goes off to those owners and those operators of those businesses because they have so much overhead. You don't have the right people, or you don't have the money to pay people as much as you would like, and the hours they have to put in, that is the most challenging business that I know, that I have seen. The construction, on the other hand, it withholds challenges, but it's worth it because you may lose on this job, but the next job it'll be a bigger profit. Or you may lose in this area, but you have so many jobs going on that you may win in this job and you'll come about the whole even quicker.
Awesome. That's great. Amanda said, family strong with God's grace. I know that's right. That is so true. That is so true, and it's interesting that you said the food service industry. But when you begin to break it down and to give specific reasons, I can see. And the place where I go to gym, where I go to work out, one of the trainers is a chef, and he was saying that was one of the challenges: the long hours that you have to put in. At the restaurant, not just 8 hours, and not just from 8 to 5, but you may be there from 8 to 10, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's just a lot of hard work. So April, I would think that as a woman, you've had to sit in rooms where you were the minority. You were the minority as a woman. You were the minority as a Black woman. So how do you mentally prepare yourself, April, to be an effective voice in those rooms where you are the minority?
Of course, I had to sit in rooms in the construction business. You have to go to construction meetings. Those meetings consist of architects and big general contractors. A lot of those people are not, should I say, they're the majority. They're not the minority. I was the only woman in the room. It was plenty times I went to meetings and I would call my father and I would say, I don't belong here. I don't think this is for me. And he would tell me, he would encourage me. He said, April, you're sitting in the room with millionaires. You belong there. He said, you got to change your mindset. You got to change how you view yourself. You need to build your confidence up. And from that day forth, I would go in those meetings. At first, I would be afraid to network. I would be afraid to pass out business cards because I just didn't feel like I belonged. And from that time, after having that conversation with my father, I went in, I held my head up, I became knowledgeable of the conversations, and I was able to converse with those architects and those large general contractors.
I love it, April, and I like you that you said something so key: confidence. When you activated your confidence, you pushed through. And I'm sure now it has gotten to the point where it is a lot easier, but you forged through, and you and with that encouragement of your father, I know that made a big difference too. But I love the fact that you said you had to confidence. You had to build your confidence and realize I deserve to be here. And you do. And that I hope that if there's someone who's listening to that, especially females, Black females, small business owners, or you want to start a business, that as a woman, you may be in some rooms, and as a Black female, you may be in some rooms, but understand, like she just said, you have a right to be there. If you're there, you're supposed to be there. And I think that is so awesome. So, April, how do you believe you can impact your community? And what would you like to say to individuals who know they can be better, who desire to have better, and are ready to realize their greatest potential? What can you say to them?
I want to tell them to don't be afraid to learn. Continue to learn. Effort is the key. The harder you work at something, the better you will be. Understand that we all have strengths, we all have weaknesses. You want to capitalize on your strengths, you want to increase your weaknesses. What I mean by increase them, you want to know that you can overcome those weaknesses. They can disappear. And another thing I want people to know is once you work hard, you're going to get results. Things might not come overnight. Don't give up. Keep going and know that God has a plan for your future.
I love it. I love it. That's right. Keep going. Don't quit. Continue to do. I want y'all to hear those key things she's throwing out. Keep going. Keep moving. Don't quit. And it's a mind thing as well. So I love what you're saying, and I hope that you all are getting this. And I want to encourage you all, because see, she's giving out good information, not only To me, it all starts in the mind, April. To me, it starts in the mind, and you're given a lot of things to help build a person in their mind for this leadership, for entrepreneurship, because that's where it starts, and you have to exercise it. So I want to once again invite you all. That's right. Mind over matter. That's what Amanda says, mind over matter. And Samantha said, you got to stay focused. That's it. You got to stay focused. You got to stay focused. So I want to encourage you all once again on Saturday morning. April is going to be the presenter. And what I love about it is this is someone who is not just talking the talk, but she has walked the walk. The things that she's going to share on Saturday morning is from her own personal experience, and she wants to help you. If you have a business idea, if you want to start a business, then we invite you and encourage you. We're giving you the opportunity to register at growwithlead.com to register for the small business workshop this Saturday, starting at 10 o'clock a.m. and continue to 12 p.m. It will be held at the First United Baptist Church at 506 Martin Luther King Drive in Moorhead, Mississippi. And so we're inviting you to register to come and let April motivate you, and not just motivate you, but share her skills and knowledge to help you get started, to help you legally formalize your business and give you the pointers and use her skills to help you get started so that you can move into your next. That's one thing that our pastor talked about. You got to get ready for your next. So we want to encourage you. If you have been encouraged and motivated and inspired by what you heard tonight, then it's only going to get better on Saturday morning. We thank you. And at Washington Fields, yes, it is a wonderful, wonderful conversation, and she has definitely encouraged me, and I feel empowered. So we want to see you all Saturday morning. And April, I want to say again, thank you for taking the time to come and share. Thank you so much. All right, well, you all, we're going to close it out. And we're so happy that you all came to with us tonight. I think April is saying that her sound went out, but we got you, April. We got you. We understand that she's having some technical problems right now. So we're going to. Renisha says that she cannot wait. Me too. And who else? Samantha says she's ready. Samithria says that she's ready. Kiana said, thank you, April. Yes. And I believe Kiana has just launched. She just started a business. So I know she's going to benefit greatly. We all are. Signing up tonight. That's what we like to hear, Alicia. All right, you all. This has been wonderful. Thank you all for engaging. April, can you hear me now? Can you hear
I
me
can
now?
hear you now. So
Okay,
sorry
do you
about
want to
that.
say something in closing, April? Do you want to just say to give some last word before we go? That's right, Alicia. It was a great job. I have thoroughly enjoyed April. Do you have any final closing remarks, April?
Dr. Washington, I want to thank you for this great opportunity to bring awareness to our people in this area, let them know that they don't have to stop. We have a future and we can move forward. And I want to thank you for this great idea. What you're doing is amazing. And I want people to know that we need to stand with each other and we need to stand together, and we'll have more. We'll have a community of business owners. And one person failed, the next person will be able to pick them up. And again, thank you for this great opportunity.
Awesome, awesome. I am so excited about you, April. I really am. I love who you are and I love what you're doing. And so I want to say again, you all go on out there and register at growwithlead.com. Hi, April. We have someone all the way from Jackson, Mississippi watching tonight. Thank you. Hi, Sharonda. Yes, Sharonda is a business owner. Thank you, Sharonda, for joining us tonight. So we're looking forward to getting into more and deeper, and we're looking for these businesses to launch and soar. So we look forward to seeing you all on Saturday morning. Awesome. Annette says she will sponsor a person that don't have the feet to join. We love that, Annette. Most certainly. So if you if you would like to register and you don't have the funds to register, Annette Washington Field said that she was be willing to sponsor you. So reach out to Annette Washington Fields. Can you type in the comments, Annette, how you want them to reach out to you? She's going to let us know how you can reach out to her to let her know that you want her to sponsor you. And so tonight, you all, well, I am even more excited, April. I'm ready now. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for joining us. And we will see you all next Thursday and on Saturday morning. Good night.
Good night.